The picture contained a spare key to Officer Brunswick's cabin. A beautiful brass sextant was sitting on Brunswick's writing slope. I recall a teacher telling me how this complex device works, but I'll be damned if I can remember. I got the sudden urge to write something obscene in one of Brunswick's books. I realized that this was an incredibly stupid idea. I found Brunswick's maps of the European coast inside the drawer of his desk. A broken compass lay shattered inside Brunswick's desk. It was a shame to see such a delicate object destroyed. There were books about navigation, geography, mathematics, and poetry. None of them looked very interesting to me. A small collection of astronomy books betrayed Brunswick's fascination with the celestial bodies. Maybe this was the secret to his success as a navigator. Looking through the Merchant Navy's handbook, I discovered that officers are usually allowed to carry guns, but other members of the crew are not. On the writing slope lay a detailed map of the African coast, the sea full of lines, markings, and notes I didn't understand. On the top shelf stood a portrait of a stern-looking man. I later learned it was Brunswick's mother. I was surprised to find Brunswick's spyglass in here. You'd think a navigator would keep that with him at all times. The entire bookcase was devoted to poetry. Among them were some of the most famous works by Shakespeare, Byron, and Poe. One of the paintings depicted 3 white boys playing with a ball in a sunlit square. One of the paintings on Brunswick's wall was a depiction of the Battle of the final battle of the Anglo-Dutch War. A painting of the night sky was hanging on the wall. The use of colours was striking. I found Brunswick's maps of the European coast inside the drawer of his desk.
What took you so long? Were you lost? My cabin isn't that big, you know.
I'm sorry, sir. I'll ensure that I'm faster next time.
Ian would have done such a simple task in mere seconds.
Give me the maps, Ransberg. Well, that's convenient. According to these calculations, raising the studding sails might double our speed. Rensburg, find Boatswain Haywood and ask him where he keeps his studding sails. He's probably somewhere near his workshop.
Look, Uncle! Water as far as the eye can see. Imagine how big the world must be.
Yes, dear.
Looking through the grate, I could... The capstan is a rotating... I was quite surprised to find...
You again? So how does your new job suit you, huh?
I'm doing great. I like being on the ship, and the work hasn't been that hard so far.
Well, of course they wouldn't trust you with hard work like mine. Now would they? So, what do you want?
I was sent by the captain to get the studding sails. Do you have them?
Ah, so you're the official errand boy now, huh? Well, it just so happens I need something done.
What exactly are you talking about?
Someone's been sneaking around my workbench. The key to the weapons cache was in a different drawer than usual. So, I checked the cache and discovered I am missing a Colt 44. If the captain finds out, we'll all be held responsible. So we need to find that thing before he gets wind of it.
Why do I have to do this? Why aren't you going after the culprit yourself?
You think I got nothing better to do? Let me tell you something, Rensburg. You'll need allies on this ship. This is a good opportunity to prove to me what you're worth. I'm too busy right now, so I really need someone else to fix this. The crew will owe you one if you can return that gun safely to me. Now, go and find out who stole that thing, will you? And be careful what you ask people. We don't want to cause a panic now, do we?
I wondered what him reading an amorous tale of the chaste loves of Peter the Long said about Caleb's love life. I imagined Haywood sitting at the sewing machine, sewing a pretty dress like a dainty old lady. Even the grinding wheel couldn't sharpen some of the dullest blades aboard this ship. You could expect to find something as random as a drawer full of door handles from time to time. It was a workshop, after all. The gun deck was off limits during my shift. Everyone hated the tiring job of filing the ship's wooden and metal ornaments. It was usually a form of punishment for small transgressions like using bad language or picking your nose. According to Haywood, his saw had once been used by Dr. Gehrig when Sylvain, one of the sailors, got stuck between the gears of the cargo winch. "Since that day, it's been a lot easier for me to tell them brothers apart," he added with a smirk. A risque pin-up poster hung tucked between two opposing walls. It tried to sell the colonies on some sort of exotic fantasy. I have...
Rensburg, what are you doing up here? Shouldn't you be getting those sills?
Bosun Haywood doesn't want to give me the sails. He said there's a gun missing from the weapons cache and ordered me to find it. I thought you should know, Captain. It didn't feel right to hide this from you.
What? Why on earth? That good-for-nothing bilge rat. Rensburg, take this from me. Don't get carried away with what Haywood asks you to do. I'll go and have a word with him right now. You should go and see Ian. I'm sure that child knows more about this. If there's something wrong, he's somehow always involved.
I don't see any sails, Rensburg.
I'm sorry, sir. I just wanted to ask you what happened between you and Ian last night.
Nothing, Rensburg. He's just being a pubescent boy, like always. Children his age can be very stubborn. He'll grow out of it.
I don't think so, sir. There's something else that's troubling him.
There could be, but it doesn't really matter. Growing up, the boy was often difficult to handle. Why do you think he's here in the first place? It was his mother, Mary, who asked me to take him in as my protege. I care about Mary and her family, so I couldn't refuse. But now, I regret that I didn't. I tried to reason with Ian, tried to convince him that I only want to protect him from harm. He just doesn't believe me.
He sounds like a difficult person. Do you think Ian would steal if he got the chance?
What? I don't want you to judge him like that. He's a rascal, but not a criminal. Now get back to work. We're still waiting for you to bring up those sails.
As strapping as sailors come. A brass sign forbade anyone but passengers and officers to enter the deck house.
You had to see your face.
That's not funny, my dear.
Sorry, Uncle. I won't laugh.
What are you looking at? Leave us.
The captain's cabin was strictly off-limit.
I'm not feeling well today. Please, let me sleep. I'm not feeling well today. Look, I'm sorry, sir. I'm afraid
I could hear Captain Hendricks scolding Hayward on the other side of the door.
my ship.
I'll admit I did consider trying on.
Came to tell me off too?
How are you feeling now, Ian?
Fine. Just let me be, will ya? I just needed some fresh air.
I don't know what's going on, but I sense you need help. Is there anything I could do for you?
Stop with the fake concerns. Who are you anyway? Did Brunswick send you to talk me around?
I'm Devon Rensburg. I'm new. I just wanted to let you know that Brunswick is really worried. I think he really cares about you.
Of course he cares. Him and his weird requests. He is everywhere I go. Around every corner and in every room. I'm sick of the man. His presence alone drives me completely insane.
Did Brunswick hurt you, Ian?
Well, on some nights, he wants me to come to his cabin. And when I do, he'll ask me to sit on the side of his bed. Then, he takes out a notebook, one that he hides for fear of others reading it. And then he forces me to listen to him reciting his corny poetry.
That's it? That's really the only thing he did?
There's more. He wanted me to have his first compass, one that he got as a present from his own mentor, Francis Beaufort. He gave me the thing as a present, but I refused. Next thing I know, it's on my pillow with a wee note telling me to be more grateful.
Well,
I'm not. You should look for yourself. I'm sure Brunswick is a creep. You should go to his cabin and search his bookcase. If there's anything he's hiding, it'll be there.
looking through the merchant navy, a loose wallboard was cleverly hidden behind a couple of books. Behind the loose wallboard was a cleverly hidden compartment containing a single booklet. It seemed to be Brunswick's journal. Brunswick seemed to like writing rather cheesy poetry. It was Officer Brunswick's journal. Brunswick wrote about Ian in his journal. He seemed to wonder why Ian was often angry and agitated, and he was also particularly saddened by him breaking his compass. There was a poem and something about calculations on the page. Brunswick's last entry told about a hole in the wall behind one of the paintings. The entire bookcase was devoted. A brass sign forbade anyone I could hear Captain Hendricks. The captain's cabin was strictly off limits without an not one, but two large ornate I was quite often tempted. Looking through the grate, the bilge pump on the weather. Looking through the grate, I could see the lifeboats of the Herald had a capacity. A painting of the night sky was hanging on. The painting seemed to have been moved recently. Behind it was a small gap between the planks.
What's that? Is there someone spying on me?
You stole the gun!
Devon, are you snooping around? I didn't expect you to be that kind of person.
No, I'm looking for a missing gun, and I think I just found it.
Shh, be quiet. Come into my cabin. I'll unlock the door for you.
Before you start, please, listen to me, Devon. I know it's against the captain's rules and all, but some rules are there to be broken.
Are you willing to explain to me what's wrong? You seem troubled.
I'm fine, don't worry. I wasn't secretly plotting to go on a killing spree tonight. But you never know. I might change my mind.
I don't want to meddle, but I was told to take that gun back to the weapons cache.
So, you're an errand boy now. Just started and already they're lackey. Well, I won't help you. It's just not fair, Devon. I know the Merchant Navy Handbook from cover to cover. It clearly says that every officer is allowed to bear arms. Every officer, Devon. I'm an officer. So why don't I get to exercise my rights aboard the Herald?
Why is the right to carry a gun so important to you?
Forget the damn gun, Devon. It's not about that. I just want the captain to know that if Brunswick gives up his rights, it doesn't automatically mean that I'll give up mine as well. For some reason, I'm always expected to do as the white man does. I'm never trusted to make my own decisions. Sometimes I feel like I'm an officer in nothing but name.
Do you really expect to achieve recognition by breaking the captain's rules? If you want his respect, you'll have to earn it, Ludlow. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'll have to report this.
Trying to hide something?
Captain? Excuse me, sir, but were you listening at my door just now?
Once again, my ship, my rules. I have the responsibility to know everything, Ludlow.
Are we really having this discussion again?
Officer, it seems you're having a hard time grasping the concept of authority.
Please, sir, calm down. I think it's all just a misunderstanding.
How can stealing a gun be a misunderstanding?
I didn't steal anything. I merely exercised my rights as an officer.
You cannot carry a gun, Ludlow. I won't permit it.
Before I became part of this crew, I was always allowed to carry a firearm. I just don't see why I can't have one now.
You should give the gun back. It's obvious you can't keep it.
How else would I protect myself?
Protect yourself from what, Ludlow? I assure you that you are perfectly safe on board my ship. I will see to that.
That won't do. I'm sorry.
Couldn't Ludlow just trade the gun for something less dangerous?
If you bring back the gun, I'll ask Haywood to trade you a knife from the weapons cache. Would that do, officer?
That would most certainly do, sir. Thank you.
If that settles the matter, we should raise those sails now. Rensburg, follow me.
Thanks for helping me yesterday.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get you in trouble.
If you say so, I am not someone to hold a grudge. You know, I don't even need to have a weapon with me all the time. Just knowing that I can get it from my cabin whenever I want makes me feel safer. Would you like one of Undra's butterscotch treats? They're the captain's favorite.
No, thanks.
You're lost, Devon. Then you'll have to watch me indulge myself in all the buttery goodness.
Why are you being so friendly with me?
I thought you'd never ask. I need allies, Devon, and friends can provide a kind of protection that a weapon never will. Back in the capital, I picked you, and believe me, That wasn't without reason.
Care to tell me what the reason is?
The captain thinks I don't know, or that's what I hope I've led him to believe. But I read his newspaper the moment I got my hands on it. Here, take a look. Without indigo to trade, the reason for our voyage has become a mystery to me.
I'm sure there's a logical explanation.
Maybe. But don't you want to know what's going on? I'm worried, Devon. There seems to be more to the Herald than meets the eye. What's going on down there?
Don't come any closer! I'll jump! I will! Just get away!
What happened? What did you do?
It was his hand that guided me. But now I need to finish it. I must.
I know life can be hard, Ian, but please don't jump. It's not worth it.
I can't live on this ship anymore. I need to get away. Somehow.
You're a smart boy, Ian. Confused, but smart. Don't prove them right by doing something as stupid as this.
But this is the only way. I've been shown this is the only way.
Ian, think about it. Maybe think of all this as a test to overcome your fears and look them right in the eye instead of running away.
You mean it's... Oh Lord, what have I done?
I had saved Ian from making another mistake. But none of the crew cared for the cabin boy's fate. They were all too busy tending to the esteemed navigator, who was bleeding out on the deck below us.
Well, it seems to me he had that coming.
Who exactly?
The navigator, of course. Brunswick. He was tormenting that boy. He should have known better. He should have acted like an adult.
Ian was a troubled boy. True, Brunswick drove him over the edge, but I believe Ian got there by himself.
When somebody places his or her trust in your good judgment, you better not abuse that, or it will come back to you, Devon. In this case, Brunswick just went too far, even with all his good intentions. As a teacher and mentor, he should have known better.
Is this personal? Because I sense you feel very strongly about this.
Look, Devon. When kings take pride in their rule over others, they often become tyrants. I've seen it happen myself. It's a sort of power that corrupts good men.
Excuse me, Mary Rani. I'm sorry to disturb you, but there is something that demands your immediate attention.
I'll be right down. Excuse me, Devon. Please wait here and do not move. Understood? Good.
Not the best bed I have ever slept in. What a beautiful ring. A newspaper clipping about the accidental death of a Raja. Interesting.
Now, when did I say you could walk around while I was gone?
I'm sorry,
You don't need to answer that. Now sit down. You are still my prisoner, remember?
How long are you going to keep me here?
I'll keep you here for as long as necessary. Now tell me the rest of your story. I assume the captain must have been furious after what happened.